Kiara Fan is a girl, the sassy engineer. In this video, I'll be doing a roundup of what has been happening in the immigration space in New Zealand in the last 1 to 2 months. There have been some changes. I announced some of them on my channel already, but after that, there have been more changes, and I'm going to be looking at all of them in this video and just simplifying it and making it easy for you guys to understand. Let's get right into it. There have been some changes, like I said, around the immigration space, and I'm going to be looking at what has been happening in the last 1 month. If you're seeing my face for the first time, I'm everyone's favorite Niger Kiwi here in New Zealand. Go and argue with your keyboard. I talk about living in New Zealand, coming to New Zealand, traveling in New Zealand, and every other exploit, where to find Nigerian food, where to find food in general, and just how to live a decent life in New Zealand. So make sure you hit the subscribe button to join the community, and also like this video and share it, because this helps and encourage me to keep making these videos. Okay, all right, let's get into it. So we begin with the fact that they have removed transit visa requirements for Fijian nationals. It was announced around like 2 months ago, but they've actually implemented it now. In the transit visa that I shared on my community channel, you would have seen it. If you don't, go and check it there. This change was implemented the same day that it was announced that transit visa has now been moved online. If you want to know all the criteria, the cost and everything for applying for New Zealand transit visa, watch the video that's popping up now at the top right corner of this video. You check the description box. For every video I'm going to be mentioning in this video, I'm going to put the link to them in the description box. Let's continue. So like I said, about 2 months ago, it was announced that they are going to make some changes regarding visas for Fijian nationals. It says here that Fiji will be added to the transit waiver list from September 4th, 2024. And this will allow Fiji nationals to apply for New Zealand Electronic Travel Authority, that's the NZETA, that I've talked about on my channel in different videos. So videos are going to be in the description box instead of transit visa. That means that Fijian nationals, when they are transiting to New Zealand, they will no longer need to apply for a transit visa. They will just need a transit NZETA. However, if they intend to visit New Zealand, study or work in New Zealand, they will still need to apply for the appropriate visa before traveling. So this change is only for transit visa. It's important to also note that Fijian nationals that will be traveling to or from Wellington or Christchurch will still need to apply for a visitor visa. And the reason there is that there are no transit facilities in Wellington or Christchurch. If you don't want to apply for transit visa when transiting through New Zealand, you have to travel through Auckland. If you are going to be transiting through Wellington or Christchurch, you will still need to apply for a visitor visa as a Fijian national. Now, speaking of transit visa, that has now been moved online. If you want to know everything about it, check out my video on the channel on transit visa. The link is appearing right now at the top right corner of this video. I'm going to put it in the description box as well. So people will no longer need to submit paper application through visa application centers when they want to apply for transit visa. They now can apply online. This change is going to take effect from 12th August 2024. So it's not in effect right now, but from 12th August 2024, you can now start applying for your visa, transit visa online. However, Chinese group transit visa applications will still continue to be a paper application process, and they say that they're working on an online solution for that category. Moving on, we have update to work rights for partners of students, and this is really sweet. Okay, the government has expanded eligibility for work visas for partners of some students studying towards a green list occupation, and this was announced about slightly over a month ago. Partners of students studying level 7 or 8 qualifications specified on the green list can now apply for a work visa with open conditions. This is good. This means that if you're a partner of a student that is studying level 7 or 8 qualification that is specified on the green list, you can now work for any employer in any role while in New Zealand. That is good. They've updated the green list with the main bachelor degrees or bachelor honors qualification that lead to registration for certain occupations. These are occupations that have registration as a requirement instead of NZQA. People with student visa studying for these registration qualifications can now support their partner's application for a partner of a student work visa. That means if your partner is a bachelor student that is studying for these registration qualifications, they can support you for a partner of a student work visa. For those partners that are eligible, their dependent school age children can be treated as domestic students. So this means that 1, you as a partner can apply for partner of a student work visa, and your child that is dependent on you will be treated as a domestic student. What this means is that your children or child can apply for dependent child student visa so that they will not pay tuition fees to go to school, meaning they are going to be studying for free. This is already in place for anyone with a partner of a student work visa. That is awesome news. Now, if you don't know what dependent child means, I have described it in this video that's popping up now in the top right corner. It's going to be in the description box as well. I've also discussed everything you need to know about bringing your family to New Zealand as a student or as a worker, a foreign worker in New Zealand. And the videos are going to be in the description box, so check them out. Very important. Remember, sometime in June 2024, I posted a video that there have been changes to accredited working visa. There are now further changes on top of those changes. The government has made these further changes to Accredited Employer Work Visa scheme. From 26 June 2024, that was like a month plus ago, anyone that is holding an Accredited Employer Work Visa and is working in the ANSCO level 4 or 5 without pathway to residency are no longer able to support work, visitor, or student visa applications for their partner and dependent children, which means you are just coming by yourself to work. Their partners and dependent children will still be able to apply for a visa in their own right to come to New Zealand, provided they meet the requirements. What this simply means is that you, who is on an accredited work visa, but your work job is in the ANSCO level 4 or 5, can no longer support your partner or child. But your partner or child can still apply for New Zealand visa. However, they on their own need to be qualified for it. And their reason is because they are trying to, align with the broader suite of changes to accredited employer scheme that was announced earlier in that year. This change will not impact people that already hold visas as a partner or dependent child, accredited employer holders working in ANSCO level 4 and 5 with a pathway to residence, such as green list sector agreements with residence pathways, and those earning at least 1.5 times the median wage threshold for the skilled migrant category. So these changes do not affect these people. People who have an application as a partner or dependent child in progress would also not be affected. Those applications will be considered against the requirements that were in place on the date they applied. This change has already come into effect since June 26, 2024. If you're applying right now, you're going to be under this new setting. And recently, the Immigration New Zealand had what they call Pacific Access Category and Samoan Quota ballot. The draws took place on 24th July and the results were announced on August 2nd. So registrations have been drawn into invite 250 Tongans, 250 Fijians, 75 Kiribati, and 75 Samoan citizens to apply for New Zealand residents under the Pacific Access category. 1,650 Samoans were invited to apply under the Samoan quota. And you can find out if you are successful in the ballot by entering your current registration number into the search tools on the pages that are linked in that announcement, which I'm going to put in the description box. The number of registration drawn is less than the number of people who will be granted residence. For example, a family of 4 included on one registration. If your registration number is listed, congratulations. But if your registration number is not listed, you can register again to enter the ballot in 2025 when the Pacific Access category and Samoan quota ballot reopens. Now, last but not the least, migrant school leavers can now get part-time work rights. That's awesome. So the government has announced it to increase access to part-time work rights for migrant high school leavers who are awaiting the outcome of their family residence application. So you've already seen that there is a clause there. Dependents of a work visa holder or a New Zealand citizen or resident will be able to apply for work rights, allowing them to do part-time work, provided that they hold eligible visitor visa and they have applied for residence under the eligible category. So this is the condition. To be eligible to apply for this part-time work rights, migrants must be an applicant on an already lodged application for one of the following resident visa: dependent child resident visa, skilled migrant category visa, whether it's on the new criteria or on the previous criteria. Any of the skilled migrant subcategories, that is straight to resident visa, work to resident visa, K workforce to resident visa, transport sector to resident visa, any of those. Migrant must also hold an eligible visitor visa and be a dependent child of work visa holder or a New Zealand citizen or resident. And they must be aged 17 and have completed high school, or age 18 to 24 inclusive. So they will be entitled to work up to 20 hours per week during school year and up to 40 hours per week over the summer holiday. This aligns with the work rights that is available for year 12 to 13 students on a dependent child student visa. So this change will be implemented at the end of October 2024. From around late August, that's by the end of this month, towards the end of this month, they will provide more details about how and when people can apply. That's good, because sometimes you finish school and just think that you would like to work and gain, those experiences or just extra cash. So this is good.